USS Claxton, a Fletcher-class destroyer, was the second ship of the United States Navy to be named for Thomas Claxton, born in Baltimore, Maryland. Claxton was launched 1 April 1942 by Consolidated Steel Corporation, Orange, Texas, sponsored by Mrs. A. D. Bernhard, and commissioned 8 December 1942. Commander Harold F. Stout in command. History. In March 1943, Claxton patrolled briefly in Casco Bay, Maine, awaiting the possible sortie of German battleship Tirpitz from Norwegian waters. After one convoy escort assignment to Casablanca, she sailed from Charleston, South Carolina, the 17th of May to join the Pacific Fleet. After training at New Marin Espiritu Santo from the 12th of June 1943, Claxton covered the landings at Rendezvous between the 27th of June and the 25th of July, then joined Destroyer Squadron 23 for a period of operations which were recognized with the Presidential Unit Citation. In the struggle for the Solomons, Claxton and her squadron patrolled to intercept enemy shipping, protected the passage of American troops and shipping, bombarded enemy bases, covered landings, and engaged Japanese surface and air forces. In the Battle of Empress Augusta Bay on the night of 1/2 November 1943, Claxton, with 4 cruisers and 7 other destroyers, fired her torpedoes in an attack which turned back a Japanese force of 4 cruisers and 6 destroyers sailing to attack transports off Bougainville, sinking 2 and damaging 4 of the enemy ships. Claxton towed Foot, one of 5 American ships damaged that night, into Purvis Bay, arriving the 4th of November. On the 25th of November 1943, in the Battle of Cape Street, George, New Ireland, Claxton and 4 other destroyers intercepted a force of 5 Japanese destroyers. The enemy ships sailed to evacuate aviation troops to Rabaul. Once more fighting in darkness, Claxton and the others achieved complete surprise in the torpedo attack, and followed with a running gun battle. In this classic destroyer action, 3 Japanese ships were sunk and a 4th damaged, with no injury to the American ships. On the 4th of February 1944, while bombarding Sarim Plantation on Bougainville, Claxton was seriously damaged by an explosion, probably of 2 medium-caliber shells. Despite her damage and 15 wounded, Claxton completed her mission with her 3 forward guns, then sailed for temporary aid at Purvis Bay and permanent repairs on the west coast. She returned to action in August 1944, and assigned to screen escort carriers, took part in the invasion of the Palaus in September. Sailing north for the invasion of the Philippines, the destroyer covered the operations of underwater demolition teams preparing the beaches, then gave screening and fire support during the landings on the 20th of October. In the phase of the battle for Leyte Gulf known as the Battle of Surigao Strait on 24 and the 25th of October, Claxton screened the battle line in the surface action which virtually destroyed the Japanese southern force, continuing her patrol in Leyte Gulf to support the forces ashore. On the 1st of November 1944, Claxton suffered 5 dead, 23 wounded, and serious damage when a Japanese suicide plane crashed and exploded in the water alongside to starboard. The men used the mattresses to fill the 9 by 5 foot hole. With all her after-living spaces flooded, Claxton fought her own damage as she rescued 187 survivors of Abner Reed, also a kamikaze's victim. Repairs at Tacloban and Manus prepared Claxton for her return to action on fire support, patrol, and escort duty in the Lingayen Gulf landings from 9 to 18 January 1945. continuing action in the Philippines. She conducted bombardments and covered landings at various points on Luzon and Mindanao and in the Visayas through early May. On the 16th of May she arrived off Okinawa for duty as radar picket and fighter director until the close of the war. On the 6th of June her guns drove off a flight of 12 kamikazes. Fate. Sailing from Okinawa the 10th of September 1945, Claxton reached Washington, D.C. the 17th of October for the ceremonial presentation of the Presidential Unit Citation. 2 days later, after overhaul in New York, she was decommissioned and placed in reserve at Charleston, South Carolina, the 18th of April 1946. On the 15th of December 1959, she was loaned under the Mutual Assistance Program to the Federal Republic of Germany, with whom she served as Zerstorer 4. In February 1981, she was transferred to the Hellenic Navy where she was ultimately cannibalized for spare parts honors. In addition to her squadron's Presidential Unit Citation, Claxton received 8 battle stars for World War II service.